Do you want to learn how to reach your full potential as a writer? In this video, I'm going to identify 10 areas of a healthy writer's life that you could be neglecting and teach you how to improve them. Hello everyone, I'm Jonathan Morton and this is The Confident Writer, where I offer tips that help writers improve their mental health, craft, and career. Today I'm going to be exploring the Level 10 Lifestyle by Hal Elrod in his book, The Miracle Morning. The basic idea is to measure how satisfied or successful you are in a given area of your life. I will specifically talk about how you can apply these areas to your writing later, but for now, I want to set a foundation for what they are and how you can go about improving them. So what are these 10 areas of your life that you should be focusing on? The first is family and friends, then your personal development, spirituality, finances, career, romance, fun and recreation, giving and contribution, physical environment, and then your health and fitness. Put all these areas on a chart like this, and then scale them from 1 to 10. A score of 1 would mean that this area of your life is in the worst state it can possibly be, while a 10 means that you're loving where you are and where you're going. The goal is to get all of the areas in your life to level 10 and maintain them. It should be noted that this is an ideal more than something to stress out about or get perfect. We're going to move up and down on these scales depending on life and the circumstances that come with it. However, when used the right way, it can help us focus on and intentionally improve different aspects of our lives. So, how do we do this? Unless you've scored an area of your life at a 10, write down a goal that could get you one step higher than where you are currently at, or write a statement that identifies what you want in that area of your life to look like. If you're at a level 10 already, look at what you're doing to maintain that level of success and or satisfaction and apply it to other areas of your life. I would suggest putting all of this in a journal, then review it each morning so that the ideas just sit in the back of your head each day. If you want to explore this idea a little deeper or improve your morning routine, I've linked the Miracle Morning below for you to check out. Hal does have a book called The Miracle Morning for Writers, which I have not read, but I'll link it below as well, as from what I can tell, it seems like it may relate to what I'm going to talk about next, as it is more for writers. While I do suggest rating and creating goals for all of these 10 areas of your life, I've been wondering what it would look like if we applied these 10 areas to our writing specifically. So first, let's look at family and friends. Writing can be very isolating. For the most part, we write alone, and even if we meet up with people to write, we're usually not talking to each other. And I'm not alone in this idea. As Stephen King once wrote, writing is a lonely job. Having someone who believes in you makes a lot of difference. They don't have to make speeches. Just believing in you is usually enough. This is why I believe that writers need to find or create a writing community for them to be involved in. Then make sure there's good conversation. Don't just show up, write, leave a sample of writing, or request advice and don't offer anything in return. Instead, connect with people, sit around and talk afterwards, because we need people in our lives that understand writing. There are too many people out there that just don't get it. Next is personal development, a large topic, but to put it simply, what are you doing to get better at writing? Obviously, just writing in general is going to help, but are you trying different things? If you're bad at description, are you looking at a picture and writing a page about it every day? Well, you want a different picture, but you understand what I'm saying. Are you studying a book on different techniques, listening to a podcast, or is it something to do with how fast you type or organize your work? Look at what needs to be improved, and doing it will help build evidence for the next area of your writing life. Spirituality. For writing, I think this means being nice to yourself. Look at what you're telling yourself about your writing. Do those negative thoughts encourage you to write? Or do you have positive thoughts that encourage you to push on and learn from your failure? When it comes to your story, this can involve looking at what you're trying to say with your story or what its purpose is. One of those purposes could be finances. A lot of writers want to make this their full-time gig, and I'm one of them. But this is something I'll be talking about later. When it comes to your writing specifically, I believe this best relates to the idea of time is money. So how do you spend your time? Is it on social media, entertainment, or one of the other 9 areas of life that I've been talking about? If you're not happy with the time you're spending on your writing, what are some of the ways you can move things around or make more time, especially if you want this to be your career? For me, this one is scored pretty low, and therefore the one I'm constantly working on the most. To be honest, it'll probably never be above a 5 for my writing, at least until I'm making a living off of my books. It kinda sucks to be waiting for that day, but I have been fortunate enough, due to several life circumstances, to at least for now have time to focus to try to make my dream a reality. If it doesn't, it's going to suck and I'll have to reevaluate what's going on from there. But here's my advice. Don't quit your day job unless you have a year's worth of salary in the bank. And that only works if you don't have medical expenses and other complications that could play into this. So there is a lot to consider when making writing a career. Career could also mean the lifespan of your particular project. Are you happy with how it is written or how it is being consumed by the audience? Either way, it's important to love what you're doing so you can provide it with a little romance. I know that segue was sort of forced and I apologize. However, it's still true. If you don't love your work, how are you going to give it the attention it needs? Romance in this case is the intentional implementation of research, discipline, and passion for your subject matter. Are you ready to explore different aspects of your subject in an attempt to understand it? Are you willing to give up something for your writing? And are you willing to let it change you? This is the technical side of romance, the part that we sometimes forget needs to be implemented if we want to have fun and recreation. Yes, I understand that segue was even worse than the last, and I apologize. The big question here is, are you enjoying your writing? Yes, I get that it's a love-hate relationship, but do you at least enjoy its company? Sometimes when I write, I feel pumped and ready to go, especially when I'm crafting a character and suddenly they start to click. Then their story, their character moments just start to speak to you, and it all forms together and makes just sense. I love it. It's almost like exercising. There will eventually be a point where instead of being tired from working out, you start to feel energized by working out, and it helps you throughout your day. And I believe that this is true for writing as well. If you're having trouble in this area, try doing something different with your writing. Change up a habit or routine, maybe even get some time away from it to think, but not too long. And be sure to think about the purpose of the writing itself and your connection to it. I've used up all my clever segues, so the next step is giving and contribution. As writers, even new ones, we can give back in so many different ways. Some of the time, it's just being there for each other. Often, we can read or critique others' writings. We can offer writing advice, or maybe you have some experience or training that can help someone out in a different way. One of the reasons I do these videos is it gives me a way to give back to the writing community. And by teaching and focusing on the mental health, craft, and career of writers, I refine and refocus what I want to do as a writer. Giving back helps you grow. Next up is physical environment. For writing, this pertains to how you organize your writing space, to how you decide to keep track of all the things going on in your book. Basically, is chaos decreased or increased by your system of doing things? This idea has been a major theme for me this past year. For me, as I wrote my first draft of my first book, I have been simultaneously learning how to write a book as well and analyzing what works and doesn't work for me. So, how satisfied are you with your system? And finally, we are at number 10, health and fitness. When it comes to writing, I relate this area to refueling your creativity and reading. I believe reading for entertainment helps your mind better understand how to tell a story, and once you have the basics of writing in your head, you start to unconsciously, and sometimes consciously, dissect a book anyways. This dissection forms concrete examples for both good and bad ways to approach elements in your own stories. As for refueling, this one connects to all of the other areas of your writing life. If you're feeling low in one of the 10 areas, do what I suggested at the beginning of this video and analyze one way to get it a step higher than where you are currently at. Maybe it's taking a break. Maybe being unsatisfied with the progress you are making is draining you. Go talk to someone about this and start learning how to do something new. Whatever it is, I hope I have provided you with some tools to help improve your writing and your confidence as a writer. If so, please let me know below in the comments. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask, and don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell because subscriptions don't always notify you anymore for some reason. And if you think anyone would benefit from today's video, please share, as it may be something they need to hear today. Thank you again for watching, and as always, don't forget to learn, create, and help others do the same. I'll see you next time.